What's up, everyone? It's me, your boy Ryan Flowers, aka Clutch Sports Talk, in the house, back with another video, man. Today we're going to be talking about the final game-winning drive for the Kansas City Chiefs to win Super Bowl 57. But before we get into the video, make sure if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, man. Hit that notifications, and let's get it popping. All right, let's check out the last drive. All right, 1st and 10. Little handoff to Pacheco. I love this guy. You're going to hear me say this a lot in this video. I love this guy. He runs hard, had some really good pickups in this game. What can I say? Second play, um, again, we're going to talk about this in just a second, but the Eagles are playing a two high safety defense, right? Um, which gives the Chiefs opportunities for matchups underneath, and that's exactly what they did here. And I'll run this back real quick so you guys can see what I'm talking about here as we set up. All right, you can't really see it on the screen right here, but you can see they're kind of like there's two high safeties. You have three wide receivers down at the bottom. They motion over the running back. He started on the right side. He moved over to the left. And what you're going to see right here is Juju Smith-Schuster at the very bottom. And right there in between the other wide receiver is, I believe that's Kelsey. And they're both going to run out routes, quick out routes, levels of what I like to call them. And they're both going to be pretty much open, as you'll see here. Here's the thing. The Chiefs have done a great job of transitioning from being this, we're going to chuck the ball down the field, right? Patrick Mahomes struggled a little bit last year, right? Teams were kind of figuring out, like, you know what? Let's take away the deep stuff, while they had Tyreek Hill. Let's make them beat us underneath. And Mahomes is like, all right, I can do that, man. I can definitely do that. So, yeah, and that's exactly what they're doing now in their offense. So as you run this clip, they're just taking what the defense is giving them. You'll see they both kind of run the same route. Kelsey was open, Smith was open, gets the first down, moves the change. I would have loved to see Juju stay in bounds, but that would be more heads up football. But hey, we're talking about TikTok boy here, Juju Smith. Shout out to him. Fight on USC Trojans. All right, here's the next play. Kelsey moves over it, a lot of motioning, simple handoff. This is a good hit by the Eagle safety there. I think that was a Gardner Johnson. He came in and just laid the wood, but Pacheco will come back later on to run off a 3rd and 1. All right, this is a good play right here. 2nd and 8. Okay. Again, you see the two high safeties up top here, just at the 50-yard line. We have three wide receivers down below, kind of like a trip set, and one up top. Watch the motioning of Jerick McKinnon. Again, the Chiefs love to motion. If you recall in this game, they had two of the touchdowns in the late and third or fourth quarter. I don't remember. One to Sky Moore, one to Kadarius Toney. They use a lot of motions. They like to get guys moving. Why? Because in film, the Eagles are a very hyper or aggressive team. So they overcommit, they overplay things. All right. But the point of this is this play design is so simple, but it's so ingenious, right? You see where Kelsey's at. He's right there on outside the right tackle. You have a linebacker just kind of positioned inside of him, and then you have the other linebacker on the other side, right? If you look at it straight up, if they're in a man coverage, right, which it seems like they are, you would think that linebacker that's nearest to Kelsey would have him. And he should. He should, right? And then the other linebacker on the opposite side should be picking up Jerick McKinnon. But watch what the motion does. Okay? He sees it. So he sends him on a motion. Now, you see this left linebacker, he starts to run towards Jerick McKinnon, right? That's going to free up a space right there in the middle of the field for Kelsey to sit down on, and Mahomes just simply make a pitch and catch, which is probably something that they do all the time. So we'll run the clip. There it is right there. Now you see where that linebacker, because why? He is so focused on this motion because they've been beat so many times now in this game on those motions. And the other linebacker, he's out of position. If anything, that linebacker should have slid. He could have shifted down a little bit more, but don't know what he was thinking. He didn't. He leaves that vacated spot for Kelsey just to sit down, one of the best, if not the best tight end in the National Football League, to just sit down and catch his ball and get to a 3rd and 1. Great play call. I love it. Very simplistic, but that's coaching, man. It doesn't get no better than that. That's legitimate coaching against a team, knowing your opponent at the end of the day. Sets up this very important, one of my favorite plays of this drive, this 3rd and 1, a little youth football split back action here. And you'll see it here. This could have been stopped, but the DN, I forgot the name of the kid over there who was the DN on this side. You'll see here what happens is that he kind of he gives himself up a little bit. Here on they draw it out right here. He's supposed to be coming down and crashing down and setting the edge, which you teach your defensive ends to do. But in this particular case, he gives himself up, and that allows the Chiefs' offense. They're pulling who's this? Their guards to pull out, and he's got a wall. Now Pacheco does a good job. I think he'll learn to make that guy miss later on, right? But he doesn't. But they end up getting the first down. All right, now generic pretty run. Here's some more motioning again. See, listen, I'm going to run this back. Look what the motioning does. Look at the safety at the very top. It gets his attention. He's going to be over pursuing immediately because he's got to get over there, right? But they do a good job. They close it up. Mahomes does what he does. I mean, listen, we forget that this guy can run. He can run just as much as Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen. He just does it, right? But he can do it. And even on a busted ankle, the guy's got pretty good speed. He's got good pocket awareness. He's a mobile quarterback to the T. At this point, they're just trying to play conservative. Don't want to turn the ball over. They're trying to get to the 2-minute warning so that way they can start forcing the Eagles to call their remaining timeouts of the game. All right, 2nd and 8. Scary play right here. He starts to stumble. I was hoping he didn't lose that football. He didn't. Again, they're trying to be really conservative. Okay, 3rd and 8, the most controversial play in Super Bowl history. And before we get to it, let's just kind of run it back a little bit, right? So we got Juju Smith at top. He's got Bradbury in coverage on him, right? Here comes the motioning again, right? And here's the whip route, what I like to call it, right? Where you run in, you pretend like you're running in, you're doing like a come across or a come over, whatever you want to call it, and then you kind of you pivot and you revert back outside. They've been beat by this, okay? He's probably thinking this, right? So he knows he's in single coverage, moving over. Juju comes across, stops. There's the hold. There's the hold right there. Obviously, I don't think Mahomes sees this. I don't think he saw that. He saw the other half of it, right? But when I was watching this game live from my perspective, I saw that immediately, and I said, that's got to be a hold. And I didn't see a flag initially until obviously the very end. But initially, what a lot of people forgot that the first part was really the penalty because it does slow him down. And then a lot of people, oh, well, that ball was uncatchable. But yes, if it was pass interference was called, then that would have been the case. But it wasn't. It was called a hold, right? As you can see there, I mean, he's, right, let me run it back just a tad frame before. And you guys can see it initially, right? Even Mahomes knows it. He's holding him. He's got his arm. He's impeding him from trying to make a football play. That's holding. And a lot of people, oh, well, DBs and they can hold, 5 yards and then it's, it doesn't work like that. You cannot. Yes, you can jam someone. But if he's trying to break outside to get away from you, you cannot hold him like that. And I know a lot of people are going to disagree. They felt like this changed the complexion of the game. If anything, it robbed us of a ultimate finish, right? Because essentially, when this penalty was called, we knew the Chiefs were just going to kick the field goal and get out of Dodge. And that's exactly what happened. So it robbed us, but it was a hold. And this could have been a touchdown. This could have been a touchdown, and it would have never been an issue, right? Or maybe the Eagles do get the ball back. But it was called. It is what it is. I'll save my comments, for another time about what I felt like the Eagles did eventually, or how their defense could have played better. But in the end, it was a hold. We'll let it run. This is what everyone else saw. And a lot of people say, oh, well, that's, everyday football. I get it, And I think that's what Mahomes saw. But initially, that penalty should have been called earlier, and it wasn't. And now at this point, this is smart football right here. McKinnon had an opportunity to score because the Eagles at this point conceded. They want to get the ball back as fast as they can, but he slides down at the 1, giving it up. Most teams you've seen in the past, they score that touchdown. You think you've won the game, and the other team come down and they tie the game, and they probably go to overtime and win. But 2 kneel downs here, icing it pretty much for the most part. Butker was not going to miss this game, and I know he had missed 1 field goal earlier in the game. He wasn't missing that one. And that's it. And that the rest is history, and the Kansas City Chiefs going on to win their 2nd Super Bowl in as many as 4 years, right? So congratulations to them. Eagles, great season overall. Some questions on defense. Obviously, maybe your defense wasn't as strong as you thought it was. Obviously, numbers can lie, right? But they never seen a quarterback like this. They never seen an offense like this. If you go back and look at the last 10 weeks of the Eagles games, and no, it's not a shot to them. You can't control who you play. The schedule is what it is, right? But you got Daniel Jones in there. You got you know Andy Dalton. You got some really bad quarterbacks. In those last 10 weeks, the best quarterbacks you probably faced were probably Dak Prescott, which you lost, and your defense gave up 40 something points, and then Aaron Rodgers, a game that you won, but only by one. Okay, so a lot of Eagles fans don't want to hear that their schedule was easy, but essentially it was, and it ended up kind of biting them in the ass in the end because when you go up against Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and the rest of what they got out there, man, it's hard. It's hard to prepare for. But shout out to the offense. They did a great job. Jalen Hurts played a pretty good game. Well, not pretty good. He played a really good game, but they just couldn't get the job done on the defensive side. So congrats to the Chiefs, man. It was a great season. Would love to see the Cowboys in there, but they didn't make it this year. But maybe next year, I'm hopeful. But nonetheless, congratulations to Kansas City Chiefs and Chiefs Kingdom. You guys earned it. You guys earned it, and much props to you guys and your success. So that's all I got, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be on the lookout for the next video coming up. That's all I got. Until next time, this is Clutch Sports Talk with me, Ryan Flowers. Never settle till the work is done. We'll see you guys later. Peace out.